Hello and welcome back to Sheaf Math. In today's lesson, we're going to learn why we really flip the inequality sign. So before we get into the explanation of it, what I like to do is to show you how most people explain it and why it's just not good enough. What they'll do is they will give you an inequality like this. -2 is less than 3. And we know that that is a true statement. And then they say, if I divide a negative on both sides or multiply negative on both sides, I will get this. But we know that 2 is not less than -3. So we must have to change that sign. And so this is a good example, but it's not an explanation of why. The explanation of why kind of will blow your mind. Okay, so check this out. Here we have -2 is less than 3. Okay, we know this is a true statement, and we know this is true based on our number line, right? When we have -2 and 3 on our number line, the negatives go left, the positives go right, and we know that -2 is on the smaller side, right? That's the way that we've learned it. But when we divide by -1, what we're really doing is we're just turning the numbers opposite, okay? Now, on our number line, this is just not working. So the inequality says, hold up, wait a minute. If you're going to change the sign of everything, make everything opposite, then you got to understand one thing. We have to change the number line too. Because if you turn everything opposite, I have to turn everything opposite in order for it to work. So watch this. 2 being less than -3 is actually not a false statement if you look at the number line in reverse, right? Opposite. That's what the inequality is dealing with. You just made everything negative, so they have to make the negative, or they have to make the number line opposite. So look at this, the 2 and the -3, according to our rules, the 2 is on the less than side and the -3 is on the greater than side. But that isn't true in our universe, right? This is only true for the number line in the inequality universe. So what we have to do is, when we divide by -1 and turn those things opposite, we have to kind of make an agreement with the inequalities. They say, instead of reversing or turning your number line opposite, what we will do for you is keep the number line the same, but we will have to change that sign and flip it around. Okay? And that way, this is a true statement for us to understand. -3 is on the less than side, and when we graph that, it does make it true. And actually, in equations, this happens as well, but because we're only dealing with one dot or one point on the line, we never have to worry about it not being accurate. It will always just be on that point, whether you drew the number line forwards or backwards, so we never have to deal with that. Anyway, that is why we have to flip the sign when we divide or multiply by a negative on both sides of an inequality. Well, I hope that helped you. It was a mind blower, but I think it's a really cool thing to learn when you're dealing with inequalities. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.